Hello dear heart, and welcome to this video where I will speak about the intelligence of light and how that filters into the perspective of altered states of consciousness. So our bodies are made up of light frequencies, and these light particles known as photons work together with other tiny particles to make up who we are. And at the quantum level, our cells reveal their light as they function. They emit light as they function. The mitochondria creates ATP, which is photon energy, which is at the core and the base of our energy system. Now, in our brain and our spinal nerves, photons help to send messages. These light particles are like messengers, allowing our nerves to communicate really quickly. And light also travels through small structures called microtubules. Microtubules, that word doesn't want to come out today, in our connective tissue, often called meridian lines. Now here, light acts as a conductor, helping different brain regions connect faster than the traditional nerve signals and nerve impulses. The idea that we cannot see our divine nature isn't because something is wrong with us. It's because we lack the neural connection to actually perceive it. So without these connections, we cannot fully understand our own true nature. Not through the senses themselves, but something deeper might know. So, to fully become our true selves, our sovereign potential in this human form and through this human form, because we also don't want to neglect this body and this human of ours, we need to build and activate these neural circuits in our nervous system, allowing us to see into our own deeper existence. The energy that connects us all is like the Force from Star Wars. There's deep, deep, deep truths in Star Wars. I actually really enjoy it. This cosmic energy holds single consciousness that splits into many forms to gather diverse knowledge. Just like if you dream, there's so many characters in your dream, yet you wake up and recognize that you created a whole new world while you were sleeping with so many characters. In the same sense, our brain is hidden in darkness. It cannot see, it cannot hear, it cannot touch, it cannot taste, it cannot smell on its own. It relies on our senses to gather information, and these senses bring back data and information in the form of binary code, ones and zeros. And the brain then processes this data like a computer or a CPU, creating a holographic picture of the outside world. Or some would even say it projects an image out as the world, and it helps us to navigate. Now, think of this process on a larger scale. If our brains is still the lower realm, in the higher realm of divine consciousness, we act as senses, sending data back to source. Make sense? There's only one consciousness. Nikola Tesla once said, "The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in 1 decade than it will in all previous centuries." Ancient wisdom tells us that our journey to light, life, and love starts in the material world and leads to unity with universal consciousness, which is achieved through soul enlightenment. So, the universe operates by natural laws, including mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, gender, when studies are consistently replicated, the chances of coincidence is majorly reduced. This is what the law shows us. So let's go into the neocortex. The neocortex is the brain's outer layer. It helps us to perceive the world, to generate motor commands, to reason spatially, to think consciously, and to use language. These functions are crucial for understanding and navigating our reality. Then from there, light carries intelligence. And light carrying intelligence also exists both as wave and particle. It acts as a wave until it's observed, at which point it becomes a particle. In our three-dimensional world, everything, including our bodies, exists as a light wave. Observation turns these waves into a physical form we see. So consciousness collapses the pure potential waveform into the materialistic manifested. When not observed, everything returns to the state of pure potential, existing as waves of light, waves of potential. Consciousness has therefore the power to transform these waves into matter. And this was shown by the double split theory. You can also check out a YouTube link to this double split theory, or just go on to, I think it's called Dr. Quantum. He has really nice animations to explain some quantum terms, if you're not familiar with the double split theory. Now, our focus rearranges photons and subatomic particles. Where we place our attention determines where we gather energy and where we direct our creative power. Focusing inward helps us to feel safe and grounded. This idea feeds into the law of attraction. Not that I feel that we have to attract anything, because everything is already here on a quantum level. But humans exist between solid matter and ethereal light. Light and electrons show intelligence, as do atoms making up our bodies. When these potentials come together, they create incredible results, and this is really where magic unfolds. Our senses sees visible light, and it sees this spectrum as a rainbow. But there is so much more light. We see less than 2% of the light spectrum. And this information also means that there is so much beyond what we can interpret and what we can perceive and what we have the ability to process. This hidden universe is surrounding us, offering connection to the cosmic dance of consciousness. There is so much more than what we are led to believe. There is so much more than what our senses can pick up. It's not just what we see. Seeing should not mean believing. We have a very limited perception of light, only seeing colors between 4,000 to 790 terabyte range. Yet everything is made of light, including consciousness. This includes dark matter, which cannot be seen, but dark matter still makes up most of the universe, and it is also light. It might not be the light that we see with our senses, but it is still light. So DNA is a storage system for light. DNA can store digital information, a discovery credited to George Church. DNA can hold vast amount of data, enabling wireless communication with source. So what if we are antennas that again is sending Wi-Fi and information back to source? Our Wi-Fi also carries light-based information in binary codes, ones and zeros. One being form, zero being space. A recent discovery turned light into matter, an idea aligned with the ancient wisdom of Einstein, E=mc², showed the connection between energy, matter, and light. They replaced light with consciousness, links physics with alchemy. So if you use that same E=mc², if you replace the E energy with consciousness, then you turn physics into alchemy. So combining neural correlates of consciousness with magnetite crystals creates a device that allows us to upload and download information from the space-time web. And this process involves matching subatomic frequencies with information, leading to manifestation. Your consciousness itself has the ability, once again, to turn energy into matter, to collapse a waveform into a particle, pulling something over from the unmanifested into the manifested. The human mind can transfer light into a binary code, sending commands to our muscles, and all thoughts exist within space-time. Some call this the Akashic records. So if you have a thought today, that thought will forever live in the Akashic records, in the etheric field. You might not be aware of it, or maybe it circulates back, but it will always exist from there on. Our bodies can store a data equivalent of 13.5 billion years, reflecting the universe's age. Each cell has a small electric potential, which adds up to a significant total voltage. Now, light itself has consciousness. Light itself, in my opinion, is conscious. And this reveals a deep connection between knowledge, matter, and the universe's true potential. The universe breathes in and it breathes out. Being mindful of every breath helps us to connect to the universe. You are the universe breathing. You are the universe contracting and expanding constantly. And you will see this through your feelings. You will notice this through your body. You will notice this in your breath. Light is intelligence. And you are it. You are light. Maybe not in the way that the mind conceptually understands, but you are the light of God. You are awareness. A lot of people don't like that word, the concept of God or idea, because everyone has a different concept and idea attached to that. But what if God is just consciousness itself? The very act of perceiving, the intelligence of light, the pure potential of absolutely everything. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, see you soon.